Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Carolina's favorite fat boy, DJ Danny Ocean, back with another dope interview for y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in and everything, but y'all know I don't do this thing alone. I got the bros with me. Von Casey, what's going on, Brody?
What's up? What's up? What's good, people?
And of course, I got my other brother, Malik Wilson here. Malik, what's going on, Brody?
What up? What up? What up?
People, like I said, it's a special interview today, man. TNA is coming to North Carolina November 8th and 9th. But before that, they're coming to Spartanburg, South Carolina this weekend, September 27th, 28th. They're filming some episodes of TNA Impact. And we got a special guest. We got my man Mike Santana in the building. What's
Yo,
going
what
on,
up?
Mike?
What up? What up? How's everybody doing?
Life is good, man. Life is good. Appreciate you taking out time to talk with us for a little bit. We ain't going to keep you too long.
No doubt.
First off, like I said, the stars of TNA are coming out to Spartanburg, South Carolina for the first time in 12 years. 12 years.
Damn.
Before we get to that, before we even get to all that, I do got to ask you, man. You just had a super violent match with Dirty Dank or JDC from the system recently, Texas Death Match to be exact. First off, how you feeling, man? Are you okay?
I mean, it ain't the first time that I've been a part of like crazy ass matches like that.
This is true.
And I've got my licks and it's my fair share of ass whippings and shit. But yo, for the most part, man, I'm feeling decent. Those matches always take their toll, but
Oh yeah.
I've always been one that I try my best to take care of my body as much as possible. This is the way I make my money.
Right.
And
right.
so yeah, man. But I definitely, for me personally, I always got to take myself to a certain place mentally to do those matches. And sometimes it takes a little bit to bring myself back.
I feel you.
But for the most part, man, I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. And yeah, man.
All right. All right. So, like I said, this Friday, Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium, you are facing Brian Myers, also of the system. First, after seeing how you handled your business in that death match, I wouldn't want to be Brian Myers right now at all. But I'm curious what you got planned for Brian this Friday, man.
I mean, so I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but I've been coming at the whole system, and they should know better by now because they've all gotten their ass whipping.
Right. Tell them. All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Like they all know what's coming. They all know what business is on this side. So, I don't shy away from speaking my mind. I don't shy away of talking with my hands. So, they already know what the deal is.
Now, we did see Moose attack you since we're talking about the system after the
Yeah.
death match was over. A question from a friend of the show, Matt, one of our homies from Dirt Sheet Radio. He said, it seems like Moose and the system are doing everything in their power to try to stop you and your rise to the top. You took care of JDC, you took care of Eddie Edwards. So what's your course of action to handle this Moose problem?
Well, I told them I'm gonna take each and every one of them out until I cut the head off the snake. And that's the exact plan that I have. You know what I mean? So whoever wants to step in front is gonna get laid out, and until me and Moose are face to face, then that's what they're gonna have to deal with. And Moose knows. Moose has dealt with me before. Moose has seen the history that I've paid for myself before when I first was part of TNA. So I don't know why he's acting brand new, to be honest. But you know what? I've always said when my back is against the wall, there's only one direction to go, and I'm moving forward. And once I get past the system, like I said, that world title is the ultimate goal.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, like you said, you came back, no pun intended, spinning the block on Moose.
Yeah.
But so we do remember when you were TNA originally in LAX group years back. You
Yep.
left and went to AEW for a few years. You gave us some epic moments there, blood and guts, Stadium Stampede, and all that. Now you're
Yep.
back in TNA. My man Gary Joe, he asked, "How does it feel being back in TNA, and what are your expectations other than that goal?"
I mean, it's been great being back, man. I got back in April, and just being part of the company's progression, and also seeing the progression that has happened since being gone. The 5 years that I was at AEW, I mean, it's been awesome. Like, again, I've always prided myself for being a student of the game. And while I was away, I always made sure that I paid attention to no, to things that were happening on other blocks. You know what I mean? And yeah, so just seeing the constant progression that TNA has made, and now having the partnership and the collaboration stuff with NXT and WWE, and just seeing how shows have been selling out. People are excited. People are
Oh yeah.
invested
Mhm.
into what's going on, and I'm excited to be a part of it. The team that we have right now, and backstage as well as in the locker room, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's willing to go above and beyond to continue making this thing grow, man. And I think that's the secret. I feel like that's the key to making it go, is that everybody's on the same page and everybody wants it to grow and everybody wants everyone to succeed. You know what I mean? It's not like this. There's so many places where you go and everybody's out for themselves, and I get it. It's business, right? But I feel like the thing that has kept TNA separate from everything else is the fact that everyone is trying to grow together, and I think it's awesome.
I got a
That
quick
is awesome.
question, just to extend upon that. I'm hearing this for like a lot of different companies that the locker room seem to be really, really tight, and we're seeing the product and we're seeing that on screen. Like,
Yeah,
do you feel like, since you've been in this industry, do you feel like this is the best spot that wrestling has been in a really long time?
100%, 100%. I mean, wrestling as a whole is hotter now than I feel like it's been in 25 years. And the fact that I'm part of it, and I have, my little, whatever part in being a part of this, you know what I mean, is pretty cool, man. Like, even back then, 5 years ago when I left TNA the first time, and being part of something brand new, and something that was pretty much changing the course of how the business was, and all that, it's been pretty awesome to be a part of it and to witness it, and yeah, man, just like it's a good time to be a pro wrestler. It's a good time to be a fan of pro wrestling. And I hope that it continues doing that, and everybody wins. You know what I
Oh
mean? The
yeah.
wrestlers win, the fans win. Um, yeah, man.
I got you.
Yeah. So a little bit, moving a little bit on to that about like where wrestling is. I want to talk a little bit. I ask you a little bit about where you feel like you fit into this whole picture of where wrestling's going. It's like I've read up a bit on like your journey and like your struggles with addiction and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, is there something specific about wrestling that gives you like a sense of peace?
Absolutely. Wrestling, I mean, my entire life. I got into pro wrestling when I was 4 years old. That was the first time I ever seen pro wrestling. And it's been part of my life since then. Wrestling was always the thing that I ran to in troubled times.
Hmm.
I grew up in a very tumultuous home, and there was a lot going on, and wrestling was always the thing that I would run to. I would lock myself in my room and just put on all these wrestling tapes and escape into that world. So uh, it's funny because I said this to someone when I was talking about it. I was like, yo, I ran so much from things that I was going through in my life at that time. I ran to wrestling so much that I made my escape my career. And yeah, so wrestling definitely holds a special place with me. It's allowed me to give my family a great life. It's allowed me to give my daughter a great life. Um, and I'm thankful for it, man. Like, that's why I'm so passionate about it. That's why I give my everything to it at all times, because it deserves that. And I've never been one to say, "Oh, I deserve this because I've done this or done that." Nobody, like, everything you work for, you earn, bro. Like, you're not entitled to anything. You know what I mean? If you're given something, it's because you bust your ass for it.
That's facts.
And I've always been one that I bust my ass because I'm passionate for it. You know what I mean? I bust my ass because I love this shit. I don't do it for anything in return. Wrestling has given me so much. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel that.
Hmm.
I feel that. Now, Real quick, I do have a quick question to talk about your. It's not necessarily about your time in AEW, but I do want to know: is there anything you learned or took from your time in AEW that you're bringing back to TNA with you?
Oh man, I mean the whole 5 years there was definitely a learning experience. Just the whole experience. You know what I mean? But uh, I'd say the one thing that I really picked up there and learned was that you have to be an advocate for yourself. You know what I mean? You have to fight for yourself. And I think that that correlates in anything in life. If you don't fight for yourself, ain't nobody's going to go hard for you more than you.
I
You know
preach
what I
that.
mean?
I preach that exact
And
phrase all the
yeah,
time.
you gotta be your biggest cheerleader, you gotta be your biggest advocate, you gotta be your biggest supporter. And if not, then you ain't gonna get nowhere, honestly, you know
That's
what I
real.
mean? And anybody that has been at the top of this business will tell you that if you don't fight for yourself, you ain't going nowhere.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yeah, fighting for yourself and also busting your ass is part of it. But I mean, like there's a lot of people that bust their ass and get nowhere. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And it's unfortunate. But I've learned, especially being there, that like fight for yourself, be creative, be an advocate for yourself, and and I'm sure you've heard it from a lot of other people. Sometimes you got to rock the boat a little bit. You got to rattle that cage. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's how you
And
stand
I've
out.
and I've yo and I've been through too much in my life. I've survived way too much to get to a place and just be, hey, I'm happy to be here. Nah, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
I feel that.
I'm
That's real.
I'm straight. You know what I mean? Like I'm and also now in today's day and age, like in where I'm at in my career and in my life, I'm past the whole that whole like l- I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I'm past that place of just being happy to be here.
Hmm.
Nah,
Oh yeah.
we here. This is business. We here to make money. We here to continue growing, and that's how I look at it now. At the end of the day, it's a business, and if you want to make more money, you need to grow your brand and you be and be a reputable name. And the way you're gonna do that is by busting your ass and fighting for yourself. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
This man is talking that talk
Well,
right
Yeah.
now.
him
Well,
saying
Oh
that
my
yeah.
god.
I,
you lead right into my next question. I ask all of our guests. And you from New York, so I don't know if you was around with Get Rich or Die Trying, hit the block. But hey, look,
First of all, listen,
hey, look.
I'll never forget when that album
Thank you,
dropped
thank you,
because
thank
I'll
you.
never forget watching BET and 50 showing up with in the Wankster video with Ja
Hmm.
Rule's chain.
Hmm.
That was yo. First of all, that
Talk
was
to
the
him. Talk
hardest
to him.
shit. That was
Legendary.
Talk
the
to him.
hardest shit I've
Yeah.
ever like. And even
Oh
as a
man.
kid, bro, like that's what we talked about in school.
Yes,
Like, yo,
sir.
did you see Ja Rule's chain in the
Yes,
video?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget, bro. At the time when it dropped, I lived in Harlem,
Mm.
Okay, okay.
and
I
and
was in
I'll never.
Jamaica when it dropped. Okay.
Oh, so there you go, bro. I was on
Yeah.
142nd and Lennox, bro.
Yeah.
So when that album dropped, and bro, I could tell you for about 3 weeks straight, every day, many men played on every block.
Non-stop.
Every block.
Every block was
Every
just
block.
like it
Yep.
was crazy, bro. That when that
Oh
album
man.
dropped, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So that prefaces my question, which is perfect. Now that you're in TNA, what is your I need to do this or die trying?
I need to be world champ.
Mm.
Mhm.
Talk.
I need to
Mm.
be world champ because and I'll keep it a buck, bro. When I initially came back to wrestling and I decided to start my own journey and I just started to, split away and carve my own path, it
Mhm.
wasn't met with a lot of support. It wasn't met with a lot of oh yeah, you could do this. So everybody was like, oh, you're doing career suicide or whatever.
Mm.
And I was like, word? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I was like, all right. It was
Now you
like
got a mission.
now it was like watch me work.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Watch me work. You know what I mean? And for me, when you're made the the world champ of a company, you're the face of that company.
Facts.
And nothing is going to say like success and this dude did it than being the face of the company. And I came back to TNA and I made my statement clear as day after that match that I had at Rebellion. I was like, I'm coming for the top spot. I don't care who's there. I don't care who has the title. I don't care who takes offense to it.
Hmm.
That's not my business. My business is being at the top spot, and that's exactly my mission now. I will be TNA World Champ. I will be the face of TNA in the future, and there's nobody that's gonna take that from me.
That's
Nice. Yeah.
legit. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard this
All
man
right.
will be world champion. Mark his
Hmm.
words. Pay attention. Vaughn, what you had?
Hey, so going in a little bit on that, on what you intend to do in the company and everything. Uh, I've heard you talk a little bit in the past about authenticity, like
Yep.
being authentic on no matter what you did. Is
Yep.
there anything that you feel like you haven't been able to bring on screen yet that you are waiting to do,
Um.
other than stomp somebody out to many men or something like that?
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Fire.
uh,
I'm gonna pay
nah.
to
I
see
feel
that.
like I've been given a lot of free reign, especially in TNA, as far as being me and putting out, who I am, where I come from. If like I've always been open about Bret Hart being like my idol and the guy
Mhm.
who really opened my eyes to pro wrestling because the dude, he was who he was. You know what I mean? When you saw Bret Hart, you were seeing Bret Hart. Like,
Mhm.
Hmm.
he spoke about his family, he spoke about where he came from, he spoke about his struggles, he spoke about being trained in the dungeon. Like, these were all real life things, and I feel like that's what I bring to the table, and I've pretty much been allowed to do that. And as far as like what I would like to do, I definitely want to put out a lot more of my Puerto Rican roots and culture in my presentation and what I'm doing.
Mhm.
But I'm sure that's gonna come with time. You know what I mean? And I don't wanna like
Hey,
give too
look.
much away right away. You know what I mean? I like for things to build up, and I like
Yeah.
for everything to happen organically and naturally. But yeah, I'd say that would definitely be one of the main things, is definitely putting my culture on that map. And but as far as like who I am, like you see me on TV, I'm a Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Hmm.
that's what you get. That's who I am, and I don't shy away from it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Look, you see, if we see you win that championship, you have a Puerto Rican Day parade on
Fire.
TNA. Just know, with the Puerto Rican forces on, I will support it.
You were ready. You were
I
ready. Good
will
looks.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Vaughn, I know you had a question about Bret Hart, too, but I did want to ask real quick while we're talking about your Puerto Rican heritage and whatnot. How does it
Yep.
feel representing your heritage on TV every week? You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm pretty sure you saw like Damian Priest win the title at WrestleMania and
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
Like, how did it feel seeing that being a Puerto Rican, and how does it feel, like I said, that you're representing that culture on TV?
I when I saw that, it was definitely a proud moment for sure. You know, I was like, finally, you know what I mean? Like, uh, it was something that I just like, especially like he comes from the Bronx. He's a
Mhm.
Puerto Rican kid too from the Bronx, and I related a lot to it, and just it was like a genuine proud moment. And I think I had did an interview after that happened, and I was like, man, it felt really good. And also, like, as far as myself, when I first came on board and did the whole LAX thing, like,
Mhm.
so I've always been open and very patriotic when it comes to being
Oh
Puerto Rican.
Hmm.
My entire career, and I've always wore a Puerto Rican bandana. That's just something that's always been a part of me my entire life. I was born, and raised as so immersed in the culture. I started going to Puerto Rico every year at 4 years old, and I grew up there as well as here in New York. So um, I always told myself coming into this business, like, I want to be one of the ones that represents, full force. And being able to do it weekly on TV and my entire career pretty much, like I've made a name for myself, and everybody knows, like, yo, Mike Santana's that Puerto Rican dude in wrestling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And I love that, and I love that. So it's definitely something special for me, and it's something that I look forward to continue doing. And I just came back from Puerto Rico, honestly, from wrestling over there. So,
Okay.
yeah, man, it's definitely a special thing for me.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask about Bret Hart
Yeah,
specifically because I knew you said that was your favorite coming up and everything. You got a favorite Bret Hart match? Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
I'll put him on the spot.
I need it.
put me on the spot for sure. There's a few, but I off the top, I have to say there's obscure ones. There's obscure ones.
Mhm.
There's one that he had with Bam Bam Bigelow in, I think, in Spain. It was like one of those obscure, like, European tours or something,
Yeah.
and they went maybe like 25 minutes, bro,
Mm.
and they were just killing it. Like, I was like, what? Where did this match come from? But yeah, that's definitely one that stands out to me. There was another one. Of course, any match he had with Mr. Perfect was just
Yeah.
amazing. Um, his matches, even his tag matches with the Hart Foundation against the Rockers, against the British Bulldogs. Man, like, but honestly, like, my childhood revolved around Brett and Owen. That whole feud for me, that's my childhood. Like, I'll never forget crying Rumble 94 when Owen kicked his leg out of his leg.
Oh
Like,
man.
I'll never I'll never forget that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just seeing that whole story, and yeah, those are I guess have sentimental value for me. And I actually went to I was in Calgary recently, and I got to make my wrestling pilgrimage and go pay my respects to Owen Hart's grave, and
Nice.
I
Oh
went
man.
to Hart
That's so
House
dope.
and all that stuff. So yeah, man, like, Brett is that dude, yo.
Oh yeah. Big
Very true.
facts.
First of all, does anybody remember when he came back to the WWE in like 2010, right? And he showed back up and he did the promo, whatever. This dude came out in jean shorts and a pair of Jordans.
Sure did.
Mhm.
I
Sure
remember
did.
that. I
Yo,
Sick
remember
outfit.
I mean,
Sick outfit.
yo, he
It was
was not he was not playing no
literally
games.
long jorts.
Yeah,
Long
long,
jorts
yo, dead
that
ass,
scraped the
bro.
knee.
Long
Yeah.
jorts and a pair. I think he had a pair like Bugs Bunnies on,
the
Yeah.
Bugs
or
Bunnies.
something. Like,
Yep.
yo, it
Big
was
facts.
crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, it was crazy. It was crazy.
All right, real quick, of course, I'm on the radio, 101.9 Kiss FM, the number one hip hop and R&B station for mid-sized
Hey,
markets, by the way, in the
Mhm,
country.
mhm.
Cheap pop, cheap plug.
Cheap
yeah,
plug.
But I gotta ask, to get yourself hyped up for a match, what do you listen to?
Illmatic all day.
Ooh,
Nice.
Oh man.
Hip hop,
Illmatic.
hip hop, hip
First,
hop.
yo,
much respect for
everything,
that.
And a guy that lived
everything
in
from
Queensbridge most of his life. I really appreciate that. So
yo,
thank you.
everything from the opening with hearing the trains,
Uh huh.
and just that whole, like, the wild style, like, cut in, and just like, bruh. And then New York State of Mind drops.
Yeah,
There's no better. Oh, I think the only thing that I could compare to it, or like put up there with it, is Pun's Capital Punishment opening.
Mm.
When it
mm.
opens and then you just get hit with I mean, but Illmatic all day. Illmatic is also my childhood. Like,
Facts. I
that's
feel that.
that's it. I still have it on cassette tape. So
Oh
Nice.
wow.
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Now, I'm
You gotta
curious
spin
now
that
though.
sometime.
I'm curious now though. You from the Bronx is where hip hop started.
Yeah.
Have you ever stepped in the studio yourself and dropped some bars? You got any tracks anywhere?
Nah, I have not, but I have been in a studio and chilled with people while they've made music and stuff
I
like
got
that.
you.
Like I I always wanted, like, I always wanted to like try my hand at battle rapping because that's like my favorite shit
It's
ever.
funny you said that. I actually DJ. I'm smacking URL DJ. So it's funny you said that.
What?
If
Yeah.
you want to get into if you want to step on stage and get a battle in, let me know.
Yo,
The
I
three
grew up.
bar,
I
the three
grew
bar
up
Bret Hart bar gonna be crazy.
on like I remember the Smack DVDs when they first
Mhm.
came out, bro,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
and seeing like these dudes on 125th like battling each other in front of the
Lux
state
and Mook.
building. Oh
Yeah.
my god, bro!
Oh yeah. Man. And that's what's crazy to me because I grew up watching Smack DVDs and whatnot. So it still blows my mind to this day that I get to travel around the country with these dudes. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome. That's
It's
awesome.
cool as hell. But matter of fact, one of your coworkers, AJ Francis, is battling at DNA's
Yo,
Wrestling Bars
I saw
event too.
that. I
Big
saw that. I
big
saw that.
shout out
That's
to
pretty
AJ.
dope.
That's my man's. But yeah, man, if you like, if you ever want to battle rap, we can make something happen now. You just let me know.
First of all, I ain't trying to get abused by all these dudes
I'm telling you, dog.
because they are not. First of
I'm
all,
telling you.
I don't know if I have the heart to stand there and just get verbally assassinated
It's
by these
crazy.
dudes. Yo, it's wild, bro.
I'm
Like
telling
I'll
you.
never forget like the days of math, like smacking dudes. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
just crazy. Yo,
Man,
crazy.
legendary.
So it's funny because I got to meet Iron Solomon recent, like Mania
Nice.
weekend,
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
and I remember being a kid in like early days of YouTube, bro, like looking up Iron Solomon videos, and
Mm-hmm.
he was nasty as hell. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Guys, you got anything else?
Yeah, I got something. He a New Yorker. I gotta ask Danny. I'm sorry.
You good? You good?
Hey, here we go.
What's your sports teams, Mike? I gotta know. Did you,
Hmm.
Yo, so check it. I have not followed sports since my father passed away.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So my pops was huge into sports. I mean, all New York Giants, the Yankees,
Hmm.
Mets. Like he was huge into New York sports. But yeah, once he passed away, bro, I was like, I'm good.
Feel like, okay, you
Yeah, it was
respect
more
that.
it
That's
was
fine.
it was more of a me and him thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I get that. I get
Valid,
that. I
valid,
get that.
valid,
Yeah.
valid. Well, we can't do our Knicks appreciation after that.
We was about to
Yeah,
add you to the club, Mike.
yeah, we look, get our
Yo, there
Knicks
was first
propaganda
of
off.
all, there was two ways this was gonna go. I was either gonna be real cool or y'all was gonna like demolish me. So
It
it
was a
was
possibility,
We
man.
will. We
yeah.
straight Knicks propaganda for the next 5 minutes is all it would have been.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
um, now, before we get out of here, all of our interviews we do with everybody, could be a hip hop artist, wrestler, doesn't matter. We got to run your top five. So we got to ask you your
Okay.
top five favorite opponents of all time that you've ever wrestled.
Damn opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you was gonna hit me with hip hop. That would have been
I
easier.
mean, matter of
Shit.
fact, we can do
We
that.
can
Give
do
me your
it.
top five favorite albums of all time. Let's do
Oh,
that.
albums.
Albums, yeah.
Damn.
He
Albums.
wanted rappers. He
All
He
did.
right.
keep he keep upping the score, Mike. I'm sorry about
For
that.
me, albums, it would have to be of course Capital Punishment,
Mm-hmm.
a
Hmm.
pun. Um Now I'm not going. Do I have to go in order though?
No, no,
No.
no.
All
Regular
right,
order.
all right,
Going
all
regular
right,
order.
all right. Capital Punishment, Illmatic.
Ooh.
Um, uh, damn. Ready to Die.
Mm.
Hmm.
Um, Only Built for Cuban Links.
That's I knew it.
The purple
I knew
tape.
that was next.
Purple tape.
That
I
was
know
that's the one.
And damn.
I feel like it's got to be between Get Rich or Blueprint or Reasonable Doubt. It's,
Damn.
I feel like it's between
I'm
those.
gonna go with Get Rich, bro.
Mm. Okay,
Cause
I'm not mad at it.
cause cause I don't remember when Reasonable Doubt dropped, but I remember when Get Rich dropped.
That's the type of impact that
Like,
joint had for sure.
yeah, bro. And I remember I'll never forget when Capital Punishment dropped because they had like their street team was like a bunch of graffiti artists So they had the big posters, the big pun posters all over the city, bro.
Oh wow.
And I'll never forget seeing they were black and yellow. Like it was like yellow background, black letters, mad big pun, capital punishment. So I'll never forget that. Yeah.
That's dope.
Man, those were good days, yo.
I agree. I totally agree. But we definitely, Mike, we appreciate your time, man. Like I said, y'all, TNA is coming back to Spartanburg, South Carolina. Back-to-back nights of TNA Impact filming Friday and Saturday, September 27th, 28th. This is the first time they're in Spartanburg in 12 years, so you know it's going to be a special show. Make sure you get those tickets right now, TNAWrestling.com. All your favorites going to be there. Joe Hendry, of course, Nick Nemeth, Jordan Grace, Jeff and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys, Carolina Boys anyway. You know they're going to be in the building. So go ahead and get your tickets. Do not miss out on the show. Mike, anything you want to say to Brian Myers, the Moose, or anybody before we get out of here?
They all scrubs. And yo, thank you. And this was definitely a fun talk. I love anytime I get to talk hip hop and wrestling and all this stuff. Like it's definitely a good time for me. So I felt like I was on the block just talking with homies. So I appreciate
That's what's up.
Of course,
We
man.
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're ready.
All right, we appreciate y'all, man. Take care. Peace.